Rigroll presents Unhinged Hackers.
Picture this. A shadowy figure in a hoodie. Keyboard clacking. Government firewalls falling like dominoes. A genius criminal mastermind ready to bring the world to its knees. I'm jacking in!
So yeah, there's a lot of unhinged hackers out there, and they seem to serve their own interests. Some don't want anything. They just want, like, McDonald's, or to learn more about video games, or even aliens. Others just want to be your friend on Myspace. I'm gonna jump into all of those in today's video. Let's jack right in. Let's jack in. Let's jack. Rockstar Games tends to shroud their development cycles in mystery, often drip-feeding info to the public, like in little M&M-sized chunks, and we're talking about like the M&M minis here. Everyone wants GTA 6. I want GTA 6. It takes place in Florida, my home, and I'd love to be able to drive to my house, blow it up. That'd be so cool. In 2022, Aaron Kurtage of Oxford, England, hacked into the Rockstar Games mainframe and released over 90 alpha gameplay videos of GTA 6. Aaron was only 18 at the time, but he was a mastermind. While under police custody in a hotel room, he used an Amazon Fire Stick, his phone, and the hotel's smart TV to access Rockstar Games' internal messaging service. What an arsenal, man. He used a freaking Fire Stick. If I had one of those, I would just be watching Psych reruns on Peacock. Apparently, he didn't even ask for a ransom, this guy. He ruined Christmas for Rockstar Games. He was the Ebenezer Scrooge meets Mr. Robot of 2022. He was eventually caught and deemed a major threat to the public, and the judge serving his case gave him a whopping life sentence. However, he did plead, like, mental health issues, almost insanity, maybe he was crazy. I stole GTA because I was crazy, man! Despite his life sentence, he is serving it in a prison hospital. Kind of like Arkham Asylum, you know? They're gonna rehabilitate this guy.
This patient will be hard to cure.
Go play Mario Sunshine on the Dolphin emulator. He exposed the biggest crime that Rockstar Games has ever committed to this day. They made their female protagonist look like a man. Thank you, GTA 6 hacker.
You are transitioning.
Back in 2017, we saw a pivotal breach in one of the most sacred institutions of the United States of America. One that sticks in the hearts of all Americans, including myself. McDonald's. In March of that year, the McDonald's corporate Twitter account was compromised by an anonymous third party who proceeded to blast the sitting president, Donald Trump, with tweets that were, you know, pretty much all the classic Donald Trump SNL jokes. Oh, Cheeto Man. Oh, toupee. Oh, tiny hands. You know, the ones we heard a million times before, but this time it was coming from the McDonald's hacker. A spokeswoman, getting crazy, I shouldn't have drank all that vodka. A spokeswoman for McDonald's, Terry Hickey, when asked about the nature of the hack, responded, "Based on our investigation, we have determined that our Twitter account was hacked by an external source." So, they managed to discover nothing. I like to imagine they called in Officer Big Mac and he assembled the McDonald's SWAT team. Mayor McCheese gave the fucking declaration, and it's just like a dark server room and all these cheeseburger-headed SWAT guys run in, put an end to it. You know, and what slander? What slander is that? I mean, McDonald's, that's Trump's favorite restaurant, and you're gonna go on there, attack the guy. McDonald's and Trump made up. They reconciled. After a lover's betrayal, they are together again. But, speaking of a lover's betrayal, this next one. This next segment is really funny. Having a spouse is great and all, but what if you could have two? Sounds pretty good. Sounds like a sweet deal, right? Think about it. Double the tax write-offs? Founded in 2002, Ashley Madison is a dating website exclusively for extramarital affairs. Apparently, the site boasts about 70 million users, which is 1/5 of the population of the United States. Like, okay, go check their phone. Go check their phone. In 2015, the site was targeted by a group of hackers known as the Impact Team, which it's just such a great name, guys. Can you imagine running a site for philanderers and having your servers compromised by a group called the Penetration Squad or the Pussy Patrol? Cock cops. The Backshot Brigade gained access to the user data of Ashley Madison, releasing 2,500 user accounts and threatening to leak even more customer information if Ashley Madison and its sister site, Established Men, continued operation. Apparently, the entire leak was released as a 10-gigabyte BitTorrent archive, which sounds like a hell of a read with your morning coffee on the toilet. In response to the leak, Ashley Madison's parent company, Avid Life Media, released a statement saying that they're joining with law enforcement to apprehend these cyber criminals. I would call them cyber sleuths. I mean, they're just releasing information, man. In the end, Avid Life Media rebranded itself to Ruby Corporation and settled 24 lawsuits to the tune of $11.2 million. But this begs the question, was Impact Team in the right? What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. I think there's a reason that they put "Don't cheat on your wife" in the 10 Commandments twice.
You're a worm, aren't you?
Oh, me? Nah, I'm just a worm.
Take yourselves back to 2005. YouTube was in its infancy. We're all playing Lego Star Wars on our PS2. And suddenly we feel like hopping on the family computer, the old Dell Dimension. We log into a little website known as Myspace. For the uninitiated, Myspace was kind of like Facebook, but for Nimrods. Like me. It taught kids like me about coding and stuff. You had to code your own page. Good times. Enter Sammy Kamkar. Sammy Kamkar was a 20-year-old computer hacker who was just looking for a little human connection. Sammy devised a computer worm on Myspace that, when viewing an infected profile, would then copy itself to your profile, displaying the tag, "Sammy is my hero." Harmless enough, right? Well, within 20 hours of its original release, the Sammy computer worm had infected over 1 million user profiles on Myspace, making it literally the fastest growing computer virus of all time. So Sammy made about 1 million friends that day, none of which came to his aid when he was raided by the United States Secret Service. It was also raided by the Electronic Crimes Task Force, which I've never heard of, but I like to imagine they wear Nintendo Power Gloves. They slapped Sammy with a felony charge in violation of Penal Code Section 502C8. You can't introduce a contaminant like the Sammy worm on a server. It's like dumping car batteries in the ocean. It's a fun hobby, but don't let the government see you do it. The consequences for Sammy Kamkar, the person, was 90 days community service, 20-year suspended prison sentence, and a fucking lifetime ban on the internet. Wow, dude. Mom took away the iPad and put it on top of the fridge. No, she put it in the fridge. Moral of the story: if you got a worm in ya, don't share it. One Scotsman, Gary McKinnon, living in England, wanted to find out,
Was there any life out there among the stars?
Between February 2001 and March of 2002, McKinnon hacked 97 f***ing US military computers to access top-secret documents on aliens and extraterrestrial life. He was convinced the government was in possession of anti-gravity and advanced energy technology. He said he was doing all of this for the betterment of mankind, but I don't know if you know the statistics about how many people a year are killed by vending machines, but I don't know if we're ready for him to share with us the antimatter smasher or the goo remover. The biggest problem here was it took place between February 2001 and March 2002, and a little thing happened somewhere in between there. So the US government was very much on its toes when it came to this hack of critical military infrastructure. They really wanted to extradite Gary McKinnon as a lethal terrorist complicit in the events of 9/11. Even though the poor innocent guy was just looking for aliens, obviously. Thankfully, they were not able to extradite him, and hilariously, the United Kingdom did not even penalize him in court either. He got off scot-free on the defense that he had Asperger's syndrome, and he was just curious. So, yeah, being a little autistic got him out of this pickle. He was just like, it's not 9/11 wasn't me. I just wanted to see the green man in the sky. You're fine. Just don't do it again. You know, Gary, I like to imagine he did actually find the antimatter device, and he's up there in space looking down on us. See you later, you autistic space cowboy. Bye. Next one's a bit of a doozy, a bit of a throwback from memory lane. In 2016, Stack Overflowin' was a hacker who took control of printers around the world and forced them to print the lyrics to Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. That's right, he Rick-rolled millions of unassuming people. I think the real crime here is that he Rick-rolled people in 2016. I mean, you're 10 years late to the key party. Get with the program, man.
What's a key party?
Stack Overflowin' would often include messages in these hacks that warn people that their printers were vulnerable, and he told users to up their security. Because of this, no one seemed to want to press charges, and the hacker was never caught. He remains anonymous to this day, an unlikely hero to be embedded in the modern mythos of cybersecurity, never to run around and desert you. The printed meme is cool and all. He was throwing the lyrics at people through printed paper. But I personally think it would have been way cooler if he literally Rick-rolled everyone, like the monitors everywhere blowing up with the song 2,000 decibels high. You know, that would be... Wait a minute. That happened? That actually happened. In 2021, a hacker named Min Dong infiltrated his school district servers and Rick-rolled over 500 computer displays across 6 different schools in his district. Once again, though, he was regarded as a bit of a white hat hacker and said he wanted to demonstrate the importance of securing our systems. Okay, this white hat hacker stuff is starting to seem like a cop-out. Like, you can't just crash your car into a convenience store and be like, no, I was showing them the importance of car-proof windows. Min Dong got to do a TED Talk about the whole experience. I don't care about Min Dong's TED Talk. I'd rather see a keynote by his brother, Max Dong. Max Dong! Max Dong!
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV?
This next one might be one of the most infamous unhinged hacks of them all. Max Headroom Incident. On November 22nd of 1987, Chicago TV stations experienced several unexpected interruptions to their broadcast. The first occurred at 9 p.m. when the image of a Max Headroom impersonator suddenly appeared to the viewers. The first of the hijacks showed the mysterious figure sitting in silence for 17 seconds in front of a rotating corrugated metal background. Not much happens within this first broadcast, but 2 hours later, at 11 p.m., the figure returns, interrupting a PBS broadcast of an episode of Doctor Who, turning it into Dr. What the f*** is that? This time, however, the hijacker spoke in disconnected ramblings, including topics like New Coke, Canadian-American radio personality Chuck Swirsky, and the line, "Your love is fading." The second broadcast culminates in the hijacker pulling down his pants and being repeatedly spanked with a fly swatter by an unknown second figure. You get all that? Then, as suddenly as he appeared, he was gone, and there you are, back to watching Doctor Who. You fucking nerd. So this one's kind of crazy, because they never caught the guy responsible, and to make matters worse or funnier, there was only a 5-year statute of limitations on this crime. The authorities were really racing the clock to get to the bottom of this. If Jack Bauer was after him, he'd have 43,830 episodes to get him. People try to pin a motive on this guy. They ask, why did he do it? Because it's fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, it's crazy. If I were a hacker, I would probably do something like this. Broadcast some schizo-babble, have a quick goon sesh. Charlie, don't leave that in. It was a little unhinged and a little cyberpunk. Probably the most unhinged display of hacking we've seen so far.
That's rough.
That's a wrap on the most unhinged hackers. From Max Headroom to Myspace, these hacks were as weird as they were funny. And most of all, unhinged. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more digital chaos like this on your feed. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I'll be seeing you in the next one, or maybe in your bank account. Rig roll out. Wing. You're gonna show me a rage face from 2007? I'm not in middle school anymore. I'm trying to play my Nintendo Switch here, okay?